Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm Ari, and today I'm flying Swiss business class from Zurich to Shanghai. I'm going to show you every detail of my travel experience, including how I use frequent flyer miles to literally save thousands of dollars on this flight. We'll review the lounge, the in-flight experience, the dining, and much more. You can decide for yourself if it's worth the upgrade from economy. Today's flight from Zurich to Shanghai actually starts in Munich. I am taking my first flight from Munich to Zurich and connecting from there to Shanghai. So I can't really review the check-in experience in Zurich, but I can tell you how it went here in Munich. How cool is this airport car? Definitely beats the GMs we have in the US on display in the airports, am I right? It was about 6 a.m. when I got here and the airport was completely empty. I'm flying business class, so there's nobody in line, which is always nice. I will say the gate agent wasn't that friendly, maybe because it's early in the morning, I'm not sure. But hey, at the end of the day, she took my bag and I have my boarding pass to Shanghai, so it worked out. But enough about Munich. Let's get to Zurich and start this review properly at the Swiss business class lounge. For today's experience, I got to try out the Swiss business class lounge in Zurich Terminal E. Pretty much as soon as I entered the lounge, the space felt very stuffy and not at all welcoming. The space has several seating areas which are fairly comfortable. There's a dining room with tables, private work rooms, which I was thankfully able to take advantage of to get work done. There's high top seats with a terrace view of the runway, and more. Speaking of the terrace, I was fairly disappointed that it was closed when I visited the lounge. I can't fathom why they'd close an outdoor viewing area. All I could think of was that it rained the night before, but regardless, it was disappointing that it was closed because I really wanted to go outside and look at the planes while waiting for my flight. It was breakfast time by the time I got to the lounge. They had the standard cold cuts, fruits, yogurt, and a couple hot options. Honestly, I wasn't very impressed with the selection as it was fairly limited for a flagship airline lounge in its home city. They do have a chef available to cook eggs to order. He made me a delicious over medium egg. Unfortunately, when I ordered an omelet, the only options were chive, parsley, and fried onions. Not exactly a mouth-watering selection. The hot water dispenser labeled these ridiculous glasses as teacups, so I gave it a try. The smaller coffee cups held too little water to have a proper tea, and using these allocated glasses to drink hot tea turned into a mess. Essentially, Swiss doesn't have correctly sized teacups. What a shame. Now for the shower. Where do I start? First of all, Swiss only has 3 showers to service an entire terminal's worth of passengers in its home city, Zurich. That, in and of itself, is a little ridiculous. When I asked the lounge attendant about taking a shower, I was told it would be about an hour wait. They gave me this pager and ended up buzzing me back about an hour and a half later. The room itself is very nice and clearly gets service after each guest takes a shower, which I'm happy about. However, I will say there was no hair conditioner and no comb available. 2 things that are fairly standard in airline lounges which offer showers. It just felt like Swiss was cutting corners here. Well, I definitely feel a lot more refreshed after that nice hot shower and ready for my 12-hour flight to Shanghai. Honestly, the lounge left quite a lot to be desired. In terms of design, the space itself is beautiful, but it's kind of cramped and the service was honestly not up to par. Some of the staff were very friendly, some of them weren't that friendly. Someone bumped into me by accident and just kept going, didn't even say anything. So that was not the best. The food was also not that great. Not a whole lot of options, fairly small buffet. Tasted fine, but I don't know, it was pretty mid at best. Overall, kind of a disappointing experience at the Swiss lounge in Terminal E, Zurich. Hopefully their in-flight product is better than their on-the-ground product. Time to fly to Shanghai and find out. The seat offered a good amount of space. It was well padded and had lots of helpful storage compartments. Unfortunately, the button to control the leg rest was pretty frustrating as it's positioned right below where your elbow sits. So I kept accidentally hitting it and adjusting the leg rest throughout the entire flight. The seat comes with a small amenity kit with a handful of useful items. I do wish they had given out slippers as this was an almost 12-hour flight and it would come in handy. The in-flight entertainment was solid. The screen was very responsive to touch, and there was a huge library of movies and shows available to watch. The dinner menu offered 2 appetizer and 4 entree options. I opted to start with the artichoke mousse and have the chicken for dinner. The starter salad with Italian dressing was well crafted with a strong punch of flavor. I can't say the same for the bland artichoke salad. The upstart winner on this sampling tray had to be the cheese board. A creamy medley of smooth brie, followed by mysterious fig puree, were just the pick-me-up I needed. The entree made a late appearance, coming almost 2 hours after takeoff. Lathered in a salty ginger glaze, the chicken retained a perfect amount of moisture, avoiding the overcooked fate of many of its brethren. Alright everyone, I have about 8.5 hours to go still. Hopefully I can get some sleep. I'll see you guys when I wake up. Wow, I got about a solid 4 hours of sleep tonight, which is actually pretty good for me in airplanes. This seat is very comfortable for sleeping in. It was good. They just turned the cabin lights on. Breakfast is on its way, and I'm actually kind of hungry. Breakfast was a warm welcome after a refreshing sleep. The fruits were fresh and tasted wonderful with yogurt. Now the croissant clearly spent a few too many cycles in the microwave and was completely dry by the time it reached my plate.
Dear guests, welcome to Shanghai. Here in Shanghai, we don't speak about you. We hope that you enjoyed the flight with us. The whole Swiss crew wishes now a very pleasant day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
And I have made it to Shanghai, China. Overall, it was a very pleasant flight, very relaxing. The seat was very comfortable. The food was good. The service was also very good. Not really any complaints about the in-flight service. Everything went very, very smoothly. I definitely fly Swiss again. The main problem I had was the lounge. It was fairly disappointing. They were not that friendly in the lounge, and food was disappointing as well, and it was very crowded. But overall, the flight makes up for the disappointing lounge experience. I would definitely fly Swiss again. I almost forgot. There's a few ways to book this flight with miles and points. What I did was I transferred 82,500 Chase points from my Chase credit card to United Airlines, and I used the newly created United Miles to book this flight for free. It costs 82,500 Chase points converted to United Miles plus $125 copay, which I think is a much better deal than paying thousands of dollars in cash for this flight. And as always, if you like this video, let me know in the comments down below, and I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I hope I see you guys in the next episode. Peace.